Okay, now we're back. We'll continue with the interactionist theory. So we're done with consensus, conflict theory, structural functionalism theory, and then we have our last interactionist theory. So let's look at the word interactionist. What is the root word of the word interactionist? So you say interaction, correct. Inter, ibig sabihin, mayroong ibang element, no? Hindi lang ikaw isa. Hindi ka lang mag-isa. Okay? Now, interactionist view of society is, it says, it is an ongoing process of interaction based on symbolic communication, no? So, ibig sabihin, in a society, hindi pwedeng stagnant siya. There is an ongoing process of interaction. So the principles of symbolic interactionism, according to number 1, human beings are endowed with capacity for thought. Agree? Okay, agree. Check. The capacity for thought shaped us by social interaction. We cannot think more wisely kung walang social interaction. Tayo ngayon, hindi nga face-to-face, pero meron pa rin tayong interaction, no? You message me, you send your message through our group chat, so nagkakaroon tayo ng interaction. I answer you. Ngayon, I already sent this to you actually, pero ngayon inaayos ko pa, or I explain it more detailed, no? So, our capacity for thought mas nai-enhance if there is social interaction. Okay, next. In social interaction, people learn the meanings and the symbols that allow them to exercise their distinctively human capacity for thought. Okay? So we learn from each other. We share ideas and we learn from the ideas of others. Now, according to MEDS, this is the approach to symbolic interaction rested on 3 premises. Number 1, people act toward the things they encounter on the basis of what those things mean to them. No? So ano ang meaning sa iyo when you look at the tree? Ano ang meaning yan sa iyo? Punong kahoy. Ano meaning sa iyo? Pag umuulan, tapos wala kang payong. Ano meaning yan sa iyo? The tree could be your shelter. Kunwari, malayo pa yung bahay, biglang umulan, wala kang payo, pero may punong kahoy. Okay? So, the tree, for you, can serve as your shelter. So, that's for number 1. Another, we learn what things are by observing how other people respond to them through social interaction. So, iintindihan natin yan, ang isang bagay, minsan, kasi, nakita natin ganito ang ginawa niya. No? I remember, one time, when I was in first year college, no? First time ko nagpunta ng Cultural Center of the Philippines, no? Is CCP. So, may nakita ako doon na, nakita ko yung isang tao, paglabas niya, pumasok ako sa CR, paglabas niya sa cubicle, she washed her hands, and then, she placed her hands below a machine, no? Tapos, nag-sound yung machine, tapos ginanon nung babae yung kamay niya. So, ang interpretation ko, dinadry niya yung kamay niya. And then, nung ako na, umalis na yung tao, nung ako na, tiningnan ko, after washing my hands, after using the toilet, then I wash my hands, binasa ko doon, ang nakalagay is hands, used for drying hands. Okay? Then, merong nakalagay doon yung push. Okay, so I pushed it. Maya-maya, may sound na and there is warm air. So, ginanon ko na yung kamay ko. So, nagpa-dry na ako. Now, the problem is, walang button doon na ipupush para to stop it. No? So, ako, naggaya lang ako doon sa ginawa nung babae. Kaya nga sabi niya, how other people respond to them through social interaction. So, Ngayon, kinabahan ako ngayon. Paano ko ito papatigilin? Naku, baka akalain ng iba, akalain or isipin ng iba na nasira ko. Kasi, I was looking for a button to push na stop. Wala eh. So, umalis na lang ako bigla, no? Until later, nung naging very common na ang mga ganun na machine. Kasi, that was ilang taon na, no? First year high school pa ako, college. So, later, na-realize ko, ay ipupush mo pala ulit para mag-stop siya. Or, you can just leave it, no? Na ganun, no? Mag-stop lang siya, okay? So, I learned about that, or the use of that hand drying machine because I saw someone use it. So, i-push niya, parang ginagaya natin, no? Okay, the result of ongoing interaction we use in dealing with others acquire symbolic meanings that are shared by the people who belong to the same culture. Correct. So, we learn from yung culture natin, sarili nating group of people, or yung kagaya ng mga Ilocano, ganun, naka-learn tayo ng kanilang ng culture nila from our forefathers. Or tayo naman, we learn the culture of others, like Tiboli or Muslim, by observing them, or by sharing, no? Interact, no? We interact. Okay? Next. So, symbolic interactionism views the self as socially constructed in relation to social forces and social structures. So, we tend to follow, we tend to obey because that's what the society calls for, no? Pero natutunan natin yan how to do things properly through social interaction. Now, we have the social self. And we say that social self is an active product of human agency rather than a deterministic product of social structure. No? So, tayo mismo, nakita ko kayo how you developed socially. You can already talk to others, to the class, in front of the class, express your ideas, no? Hindi na kayo kagaya nung mga first year or second year na nahihiya pa, ginakulbaan pa magkadto sa atubang kag report, no? All types of interaction refines our ability to think, correct? So, we learn from others, we learn from your teachers, no? We learn from your classmates. Not all interaction involves thinking. Sometimes mayroong mga parang automatic lang siya na mag-interact tayo, no? Parang, anong tawag nito? Parang instinct. Okay? Instinct. So, interactionist perspective on education. So, there is student-teacher interactions. There is interaction among students, among sa inyo lang na mga estudyante. And then, according to Charles Horton Cooley, who developed a concept called looking glass self. Ano meaning nitong looking glass self? Sabi niya, we come to develop a self-image on the basis of the messages we get from others as we understand them. No? So, parang nakaka-create tayo ng self-concept, no, sa atin based on how others describe us. Kunwari, parati natin naririnig na, hoy, kaganda-ganda talaga ng skin niya, no? So, ikaw mismo na nakarinig nun, na comment ng mga kaibigan mo, sabi mo, ay, maganda ang skin ko, maganda ako. O kaya, basta yun ang self-image na nakikreate mo sa iyong sarili. Kasi, yun ang narinig mo sa iba, no? Uy ka na, migid ba na sa imo, magkanta. O. So, kahit na ikaw mismo parang hindi masyadong nagagandahan, pero kasi maraming nagsasabing at maraming nagagalingan sa'yo, so, isip mo yan, talagang magaling ka rin kumanta, no? Okay, so, the rest, ano na lang yan, a more detailed discussion or description of what is looking glass self. Okay? Now, tingnan natin the 3-step process. Step 1, we imagine how our personality and appearance appears to others. So, naririnig natin, attractive, unattractive, heavy, uy, katambok na sa imo, uy, kapayat sa imo, uy, ka-friendly bala sa imo, oh, uy, kasuplada bala sa imo. So, marami kang naririnig na comment. Step 2, we imagine how other people judge the appearance we think we present in step 1. How do we think they feel about us? Okay? Now, minsan sabihin mo, maganda ka, pero ang iba, nagakusmud-kusmud sa imo, nakabati ka sa istorya nga, laway ka. So, parang nag-change. Ang sa isip mo, maganda ka, tapos, pero yung iba, naririnig mo, daw, ano kalaw, ay, uy, silibala ni, ano, nang kalaw, ay ka daw, mga muna. So, parang nagdududa ka ngayon, no, nag-change. Step 3, we develop a self-concept based on how we feel we are judged in step 2. So, if we are judged in a good way, we have a favorable self-concept. But if we are judged in a bad way, we have an unfavorable self-concept. So, sabi, kamango man na siya, hindi man na siya kabalong maghambal. Although sa sarili mo, okay ka na, magaling ka na, okay ka na magsalita, no? Pero kasi, narinig mo sa mga kasama mo, so nagkakaroon ka ngayon ng doubt, no? So there is a negative or unfavorable self-concept. Now, let's look at the reflection. So what about the looking glass self? Paano natin ma-apply yan? We know that as a teacher, you play a significant role in educating the children, no? So, it is our duty as teachers to really inculcate the value of fairness and honesty to our students. We also need to teach them how to learn so they may be able to adapt in any situations or events that they will be presented. So, the looking glass self simply tells us that we must be cautious in giving remarks to others. Let us all be generous in giving positive comments and lessen the words that will hurt others. Teachers, especially mga BA-Ed teachers, akala lang natin, wala lang na sa mga bata nga gagmay, pero minsan, makasabi ang teacher na, ambot ka mango, kadungol sa inyo, So, what happens? Sinabi mo, kadungol sa imo. Yun din yung word na narinig ng bata sa parents niya. Kadungol sa imo, time na, ari ka pa di, wala ka pa naligo, dungol-dungol ka gida. Okay, late na siya pumunta sa school. Ang pumasok sa isip niya, dala-dala niya is yung word na dungol ka gid. Pagdating din sa classroom mo, may nagawa siyang pagkakamali, sinabihan mo na naman siya ng dungol ka gid. Okay, confirmed. Sabi ni nanay, dungol. Pag-abot sa eskwelahan, sinabi mo, dungol. Confirmed na gid, dungol gid ko. Okay, so yung bata na yan, isip niya na, dungol na siya. So, instead na naka-encourage ka as a teacher, anong nangyari? Hindi mo siya na-encourage. Okay? So, that is one example of yung looking glass self. Okay? Now, that ends our chapter 1. Yan yung topic ko, and I use this mga references from the internet and from the book, no? I hope na-clarify pa kayo sa mga explanations ko in details about social sciences, the theories, and the different theories that are related to education. Okay? So, bye!